On average, it takes a beginner 3 minutes to solve a Rubik's Cube. Now, as a new cuber myself, I hit my first sub-minute solve over the summer, and I was quite happy with that, until, as the often naive and overconfident beginners do, I Googled the world record time. 3.05 seconds. I doubt I could solve a single face in that time. You might be thinking, Alex, why compare yourself to this? This is obviously a professional with years, if not decades of experience. Turns out that's not quite the case. Turns out this incredible 3.05 second world record time was set by a 7-year-old. Now, aside from the deep and personal inadequacy that I felt following this revelation, it led to a question that led to this talk today. That question being, how could a child outperform a teen or an adult? How could a child be the world's best at any skill? It all comes down to a concept called neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, as defined by the Cambridge Dictionary, is the ability of the brain to forge new connections or reorganize itself as a response to new information or events. Children and adults had the same number of neurons, or nerve cells, but had a differing number of synapses, connections between nerve cells. As two neurons fire together, this link strengthens. The number of synapses peak at around age 2 to 3, with 1 quadrillion synapses. That's 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000. It's a lot. These makes our brain highly sensitive to new information at this age. Now let's look at a couple examples of neuroplasticity in action. I'm going to hope that a considerable proportion of today's audience has watched the Netflix show, The Queen's Gambit. If you haven't, go watch it now. It's my one piece of homework for you tonight. It follows the journey of chess prodigy Beth Harmon. Now, I'm not saying we should take the experience of a future world champion to encompass that of all children, but it's an excellent example of neuroplasticity in action. In episode 1, you have this scene where 9-year-old Beth beats her mentor, Mr. Scheibel, at chess for the first time. You're sitting here thinking, there's this girl that's been learning this game for mere months, yet can already beat an adult with decades of experience. How? It's all a result of her neuroplastic brain, meaning she can better identify patterns and memorize sequences. Let's look at another example. I'm going to ask every member of tonight's audience to raise their hand if they would consider themselves to be bi or perhaps even trilingual. Now keep that same hand raised if you learnt this language in the first 10 years of your life. Thank you very much. Language learning is an excellent example of neuroplasticity. If you learn a new language early on, you can easily obtain native-like accents or understand complex grammatical concepts. If you took the same person and taught them the same language at an older age, they would find it exceedingly more difficult. It's all a result of these synapses in their neuroplastic brains. Now, why is any of this important? Why am I here today talking to you about neuroplasticity? Well, today's talk just shows us how important the early years are for a child's development. What happens to them in the first 5, 10, or 20 years of their life can have large impacts on the next 50 years. To end with a quote from Albert Einstein, who once said, "I never teach my pupils. I only provide them environments within which they can learn." Tonight we've learned just how incredible a young person's mind can be, but only when they are given the right opportunities can they achieve their full potential. Thank you very much.